The Nick Bob Podcast is brought to you by my good friends at Pella Windows and Doors. Make sure you check out their showrooms in Omaha and Lincoln, or check them out online at PellaOmaha.com. By now, you maybe have seen my commercials with Pella Windows. Yes, that is me. Yes, they have done work on my home. And yes, I love everybody involved with Pella. Vince, Debbie, the whole crew, the installation experts. They're all fantastic. So if you are in the need for new windows, new door, whatever, make sure Pella is the choice that you make. They are fantastic. 5 out of 5 stars from your boy Nicky B. They're great. Check them out online. PellaOmaha.com. That's PellaOmaha.com.
Holy moly.
Oh, yeah, here we go. We are here. We are here. We are here. We first got to take care of business, my friend, because the presenting sponsor of the Husker game recaps is Dingman's Collision Center. What sets Dingman's apart? Locally owned, family operated. The roots run deep in Omaha. The roots run deeper than the Ruuds in the linebacker room. I don't know about that, but it's close. Dingman's Collision Repair, Omaha, Ruuds, linebackers, Nebraska.
I like the Dingmans.
I think you're right. They live in Omaha. They have pride in the community. Dingman's has been the trusted name in collision repair in Omaha for almost 30 years. They built a reputation by doing things the right way, taking care of people one repair at a time. That's earned them to be voted. How about this? First place in Best of Omaha for 20 straight years. That's pretty incredible right there. 4 convenient locations across the Omaha metro area: 120th and Maple, 144th and Industrial Road, Midtown, 50th and Saddle Creek, and of course, Papillion and Downtown Papillion. We're proud to be partnering with Dingman's Collision Center. Big thanks to them for sponsoring the Husker game recaps. Nebraska won 20-17. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with you. I'm so excited to be talking to you.
I know it was a late night, so like I feel like people weren't. There was no communication after the game. But,
come on, let's get real.
But man, I just was like, I just wanted to go pod right after that game.
Okay. Yeah. It's the first game is always, because you just spend 8-9 months wondering, waiting, laying in bed like, man, what's my girlfriend going to be like? Yes. You just wonder what this team's going to look like. How is it going to be different? How is it going to be the same? And then you get to see it, and it's like, today we're going to have to balance extrapolating things into absolutes both ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just because something was good in this game doesn't mean it's good for the rest of the season, and vice versa, you know?
It is the first game, so but it's so refreshing. Like, too much of our time, I think, we spend on like, here's what someone said about, you don't get to see it. Like, we finally get to see each of these guys, the team,
right,
how they play. In that part, so now we can really start talking about what do we think this team is.
I don't know about you, but there was a whole lot of like, who's that? Like, I had to get, because you don't know numbers yet.
Yeah.
So I had to get a roster next to me on my computer, and I had to cross-reference so many times, like, who is that? Oh, that's Deshaun McCullough. Okay, who is that? That's
94?
Nowhere.
Oh, that's Ochoa.
Yeah, you're trying to figure it out the whole game. Okay, so I kind of want to start with this. Like, let's be honest, for as the game was progressing, in particular down the stretch, it was like, oh my God, I've seen this movie. Literally, this has been on repeat for a decade straight.
Yeah, I mean, I was nervous. That fourth quarter, I was nervous.
I mean, it was almost like I seriously was sitting in my basement just like, this isn't happening. Just cannot happen.
I was yelling at the guy that wore the T-shirt, the almost. I was like, "Don't jinx us, man! Don't do that until it's over." Like,
I know.
I thought he was going to jinx us. I thought that was the jinx. Like, don't do that.
Well, do you think? Because clearly it appeared like he wasn't in the front row. Do you think someone was like, Brandon, run down there?
I think he was in the last row. I think he ran down.
I think he was like, I'm going to run down at the end of the game when it's a 1-score affair, and I'm just going to be like, hey, this is my shirt.
I think he had his 10th, $15 beer. He's like, I'm going down, guys.
Guys, I bought this shirt, and damn it, people are going to know that I bought this.
It is a good shirt, man.
Do it, man. Just go down there, get the camera's attention. It's ridiculous. But okay, so here's how it was the same. But then we'll get into how it obviously was different. It was the same, and it was a classic. Nebraska was controlling the game.
Yep.
Like, you looked at the stats, total yards, first downs, time of possession, on and on and on. But yet it's a 3-point game late in the fourth quarter. Okay, yep. We've seen that song and dance before. We've also seen when Nebraska got up 20-10, I kind of was like, okay, I think I think Nebraska's okay. And then we've seen this time and time again where one side of the ball just falls apart for 2 minutes.
Yep.
The defense on that ensuing drive just completely fell apart, where Sorsby, they went a little tempo.
Yeah.
Sorsby, all of a sudden, I kind of was surprised how late they decided to run Sorsby more. I felt like if they would have committed, now I know you can't run him 25 times, but it kind of felt like they saved it for the end of the game. If they would have ran that guy, Nebraska had been in big trouble.
I'll tell you, he was a really good athlete, is what you found out. He was big, he was strong. And truthfully, we didn't have an answer for that guy running. Truly, I think their best offense was 4 or 5 wide, and we found out our defensive line has a long way to go.
Yes.
Because they couldn't pass rush him and sort of contain this quarterback.
Yes.
So he was just eating us up. We couldn't even spy him almost. So it was a strange feeling. We were playing pretty good defense overall, and then all of a sudden you almost felt helpless against that guy.
And it was weird. It was a weird kind of helpless where it was no matter what, it felt like that guy can just scramble and get 8 to 10 yards every time.
Every play if he wanted to. So, okay, so how I'm going through how it felt the same. So it was kind of you get up, one side of the ball just completely throws up on themselves. You had a crucial penalty at the 1 yard line. Elijah Pritchett, false start, erases a penalty. We've seen those, back-breaking penalty, whatever. You also had a crucial penalty on Hartzog with under a minute left. Yeah.
The holding, we'll get to how he redeemed himself. But we've seen that, a crucial bonehead penalty late in the game, on and on and on. And all that manifested itself into a situation where Nebraska, the opponent, had the ball into Nebraska territory with under a minute left, and Nebraska was likely going to lose in regulation or overtime.
Yeah.
So those are all the, and I'm sure we could go even further down the list of all the notes that it was hitting. It was that's that. How it was different. Bo, Nebraska, Lady Luck might as well have been standing next to Matt Rule that game.
I'm glad you're saying this.
We sit here and we cry oh man, we're so unlucky with this bounce, that bounce. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Cincinnati drops a pick six.
Yep.
That guy is still on I-29 like Forrest Gump. He's still, you're in. It is. He drops a pick six in the third quarter. Cincinnati couldn't recover Dylan Raiola's strip sack fumble.
That should have been a scoop score.
Should have been a scoop. Yeah. I know. I rewound it a couple times. It's almost, if he picks it clean, it's a scoop and score. Subsequently, Nebraska, Shavers gets the great play, the hit, the fumble, when Airy recovers it. So that was in a bang-bang sequence. That's a 10 or 14-point swing that honestly, in some ways, if you really want to boil down what the game came down to, it kind of came down to the final 90 seconds of the first half.
Yeah.
They couldn't recover the fumble. Dylan got it back. Nebraska could recover the fumble, and they go and score.
Yeah. And we had another fumble that trickled out of bounds.
Bonner, I think, got hurt on that play.
Yeah.
Bonner along the goal line, they run that little inside reverse or whatever. His fumble goes out of bounds.
Yeah, and that was points, too, that came after that play.
Yes.
So, gosh, I mean, dude, I was thinking the same thing, that the bounces were going our way.
Yeah.
They were going our way finally. It felt like they never do, and they did.
Even Isaiah Hunter's unbelievable touchdown catch. I mean, it takes, not skill, but it takes a pretty,
they could go either way.
They could go either way. He just gets his toe down after bobbling it a little bit. So all those things that usually are Nebraska can't catch a break, Nebraska caught every break.
Yeah. Cincinnati dropped some easy passes.
Yes.
Little things like that.
The other way it was different. Special teams actually was clutch.
Yeah.
Archie Wilson, 2 clutch key punts downed him inside the 10.
Yeah.
One at the end of the first half, and then the one at the end of the game is just enormous.
Yeah, even though it wasn't like he pinned him at the 1. Sometimes all you got to do is instead of kicking it in the end zone where they're at the 25, you kick it at the 10 or 11. That's just a long way to go for the offense. So sometimes it doesn't have to be on the 1, but even at the 10 is a win.
So you and I went on a golf trip earlier this summer, and sometimes we are both guilty of thinking we'd be like, all right, we got to hit it to like 6 inches. No. Just hit it on the green.
If you hit it on the green, like you're playing good golf.
Yeah, and so I think that's analogous to sometimes a punter in that situation. Just get it like inside the 15. Get it inside the 10. That's a win.
Yeah,
that is a win.
That's turning the field over, and that like every time your offense starts inside the 10 or 15, it's just not comfortable. It's a long way to go.
That was the one you felt comfortable because like, okay, they got to go 90. I think it was at the 9 at the end of the game. They got to go 91 yards. I mean, think if in the past, whoever would have just like probably boomed it into the back of the end zone, and now they're at the 25, and they do their drive. They're way closer, right? So they can maybe be a little more conservative, whatever. Also, Cunanan, 2 for 2 on field goals, and one was a 52-yarder. Like,
and he set the tone by making the long one first. It felt like after that, I feel like our special teams was pretty confident. Like our confidence went up.
Yes. So it just in those two ways, like those are, we always talk about like, man, special teams lost you a game. Like, just let me paint this picture for you. Nebraska goes 0 for 2 field goals. And then Archie, now obviously everything's different if that happens, but Archie Wilson, instead of penning him inside the 10 twice, he shanks it or punts it into a touchback.
Yeah. I mean, we won by 3 and we made 3 field goals.
Yeah. Like,
or we made 2. Sorry,
made 2, but
we made a 50-yard. Like, that is the difference between like
winning and losing.
We're in overtime, and what's our overtime record? Like over
184, I believe is what it is. What it is now.
Small things, right? Small things, but we seem to be like we weren't gangbusters as a team or anything, but we controlled the ball. We didn't turn it over. We got
Lady
Luck. We played pretty good special teams, and we just sort of we played pretty just decent enough. Like, you just didn't beat yourself.
Yes.
And that was like all it took.
3 more things on how it was different. And then we'll kind of get into the nitty gritty of stuff. I kind of wanted to go big picture, and then Nebraska's offensive coordinator, Dana Holgerson, made a really good play call on 4th and 2 at the 3.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they set it up, they hand it to Emmett, then 4th down, they pull it, Dane Key, slips, great play call. In the past, I mean, I feel like, don't want to name names and be like, what do you think?
Same play we always run? Like, God, best I got.
I'm thinking false start. Here are options. False start. I think that's our best option, personally. We could run.
Fall down. Yeah, you got that?
All right, we go trips right. 32-6, fall down. All right.
Down. Slippery cleats.
So, a good play call. Also, I wanted to look it up. Nebraska, you will appreciate this. At least I think you will. Nebraska's 4-minute offense didn't close out the game. So, Nebraska up 20-17.
Yeah.
Takes over with 7 minutes and 9 seconds left at their own 18. They run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plays and get the ball. They get it to a little bit past midfield and choose 5 minutes of clock off the game clock and forces Cincinnati to call all 3 of their timeouts. Like,
It was a win in that sense, right? Like, we would have loved to see us be able to just
close it.
But like, sometimes the win is like you take off 5 minutes, right? Like you said.
Well, again, I'm going to where it was different. Like, in years past, you know what probably happens there?
3 and out.
Yeah, like, all right, guys, here we're going to go shotgun. Twins right, 3 and out. Here we go. Like,
it's sack time, right? Like, it's just like, we always just like, I feel like we
it's sack time.
Yeah.
Nothing more than, all right, guys, you know what time it is.
The tackles are like, heck yeah. Here we go.
Matador, get out there. All right. Okay. But no, continue. I'm sorry. It's sack.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just thinking about the Matador. He's getting called from off.
Thought that Corleone.
Whoa.
Just hammering on in there. But like, you feel me on that? Like, are you with me in that? Like, I feel like in years past, it would have been shitty 3 and out.
Yeah.
Or a 4-play drive that goes 12 yards and you're giving the ball right back or whatever.
Yeah, and then you kick it. You know, you get him inside you get him inside the 10, and
yes,
and then all of a sudden it's like that's a long ways to go, and you got no. And I didn't like what Cincy did with the timeout thing. Like they took all 3 before the 2-minute versus like you run that extra 16 seconds and use the 2-minute, and then you got one in your pocket. And I like the flexibility.
Totally agree.
Of saying like, look, if we need to stop it, we can do more things then versus like I think that put them in a weird spot, and they took the chance. You know, we'll get to it.
No, but I totally agree. I didn't totally disagree. I think they took the timeout with 2:16 left, and they were able to basically run one play before
you get
the
one extra
you get one
play,
extra play,
but then you lose like the ability to stop the clock easily,
right?
And
yeah, I thought they mismanaged that, but nevertheless, and then most importantly, the final thing on how it was different. We sit here and we have for years we have all gotten on white lab coats. We have we have microscopes. We have like Bunsen burners, things. We're in a lab, right?
Yeah.
And it's the One Score Game lab. And we're just like our research. We're like asking for donations. Like with your donation, we will figure out the cure to the One Score loss.
We think we've got it. We've made progress for 20 years.
You should see our breakthroughs and our test results in our lab on our One Score games. I mean, it just...
Adrian Martinez has donated blood 10 times this week. We think we're finding it what's happened here. You know, like
I mean, and you know what it comes down to? Sometimes Malcolm Hartzog made a play. He made a play. Finally, somebody in a clutch moment made a terrific play.
it was a jump. I mean, it was a throw up.
Yeah.
It's the receiver and Hartzog made a better play.
Yes.
That's the game.
That's it. So it's just, you're kind of like, oh, like, how do you do it, man? How do you beat those one score? It's like, that's what you do. Somebody just steps up and goes and makes a play and ends the game.
Yeah.
That's how it's different.
I think we were lucky that they decided to take a chance because I don't know. It felt like we weren't ready up front to handle everything else. Like to me right now, I looking at that defense, the strength was those 4 secondary guys.
Yes.
Actually, maybe five guys in secondary all played pretty good. And the fact that they like started throwing it, you know, and they especially took the shot down the field, that was almost like to our benefit at that point.
I felt like, now I don't know how good their field goal kicker is, but you know, they get down there. Where were they at? Were they on like the 40 maybe? Maybe they're at the Nebraska 33.
33. Okay.
So, and there's 30 and about that they ran the play a little under like 40 seconds left.
It's a 50-yard field goal at that point.
But I thought what they were going to do, because they have a fresh set of downs.
Yeah.
Like,
just keep.
I would have just kept scrambling Sorsby. I would have gone scramble. You can either, I mean, in some ways you can go scramble, spike.
Yeah.
And just play for the field goal in some ways. Or if Sorsby's going to squirt one through. When they uncorked it, I'm not going to lie, when the ball was in the air, I was like, thank you. Even before Hartzog intercepted it, I just was terrified of Sorsby running for a touchdown. And
the one thing we needed to do was to make that guy beat you with his arm. Like,
yes.
Like we couldn't let that guy beat us with his feet anymore. So we were lucky that he took the shot on us.
Right.
Because he was beating us with his feet.
So in some ways it was like, I thought that was a little bit of a gift for Nebraska, but still, that's a great play for Hartzog.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds cheesy. I even tweeted this, but like I do think there is something to this of like a next play mentality and not, I mean, it's hard as a player. Like you make a mistake, you mess up, to not let that linger and be frustrated. I mean, he held the crap out of the guy. It was terrible. He gets the 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down. Then the very next play, he mixed it. So I mean,
it's a big bounce back for sure.
For some reason in my mind I started calling him Mighty Mouse. I don't know. He is. Throw it up here. I get it.
But he's got a deep voice.
Yeah, I mean, he is like a little. He's tiny out there.
Teeny.
I kind of dig Hartzog, though.
No, he's a good player, though. He's like one of those guys, like, he's just got a great football sense. He's always kind of been able to make plays. He gets the pick. Like, he's made a lot of nice picks in his career. So he's a guy I feel like we can always count on. So.
Totally agree. Okay. Do you want to now we're going to do the easy, we're going to talk offense, we're going to talk defense, we're going to talk a little bit of special teams. What side of the ball do you want to start on?
Should we talk to D first?
Let's do it because, well, we
got to talk about it. What is our defensive line? Like, we know, like, this is where I'm glad we're in the season. We can see everything. Because, we were talking about, like, the Matt Rule, I can't wait till you see our D line.
Hell on wheels,
right? And so, like, this is where that doesn't do us any favors. But now we get to see him. And so I feel like my biggest takeaway from the entire game was, like, man, not having Ty and Nash is a huge, huge difference.
Yeah.
It was a huge difference in my mind watching that D-line versus last year's D-line. And so that to me is where, like, okay, what is this defense right now? I think these guys, obviously, there's a lot of new faces. They got a lot of football ahead of them, and they're going to get a lot better this year. I think that first game showed, though, that, whoa, we are not where we were last year.
To me, I think there were, like, two major concerns about the team heading into the season. And the second one's kind of a weird one, but I think it could end up being, both were validated. The first one was the defensive line. That was kind of the big thing you circle, I don't know what this is going to be. And the second one is running back depth.
Yep.
And I left the game thinking, yikes, on both of them.
Yep.
Cincinnati ran for 202 yards and 7 yards a carry, and it kind of felt like whenever they really wanted to, they could kind of just line up and blow Nebraska off the ball and hammer it.
On the interior, we just didn't, like, we were being pushed. Like, I saw, like, especially starting out the game even, like, I saw our interior guys, like, yards down the field, holes were being opened up. And just felt like we just didn't look like we were almost like dialed in. Like, how, like, we weren't attacking very much. And I think there is a lot of, like I say, I think these are new faces.
They look lean. They don't, like Corleone, just like that a big bowling ball in the middle of that was Nash.
That was Nash, and Ty's a big monster, right? So, like, you weren't moving those guys.
No,
easily.
At the very least, it was just they were going to hold their ground.
So I think it's going to be fun to see kind of what these guys, like, evolve into. But, like, are they at a point right now where they're ready to win in the Big Ten? That's what I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Like, if they play a Big Ten team with that performance, I think we get beat.
Well, like, I just think about if Cincinnati can rush for 200 yards and push you around, what is Michigan going to do on September 20th?
Yeah.
Because I promise you, they are going to be bigger, faster, stronger in the line. I mean, that was a brand new offensive line for Cincinnati, too. It's not like that's like and it's not like Cincinnati is like just an unbelievable running team other than Sorsby. But so very concerned. And that's why I was just always a little, and this is why I was kind of met with an eye roll for me a little bit with the whole hell on wheels and talking about the D-line of just like, for 2 years, that didn't happen. Last night, I'm not saying nobody ever ran the ball in Nebraska. Of course, some teams really, but for all intents and purposes, that game, what you saw last night for 2 years, didn't really happen. Nebraska had a top 10 rush defense for 2 years in a row. And I just was surprised at how people poo-pooed Ty and I shouldn't, I'm generalizing there. Some people kind of went, Ty and Nash and Jamari Butler leaving and Tony White leaving. And all. I mean, even Bullock, I don't know what you thought of the linebacker play last night.
Bullock's right now
made a roster,
he
bro.
Made a roster. I mean, that's where, like, there was a drop-off. Like, to me, there was a drop-off in the front seven. And, like, I just think that I'm definitely excited to see because I think there's going to be a ton of growth. I actually do think there's going to be a lot of growth, but it was like a bad first game, I would say. Sometimes then that happens. So like I always like to be, give people the grace of like, okay, this is that first game, you got to work it out. And we got away with a win. So the biggest jump is always between the first game and the second game. Like there's going to be a lot of improvements there, but I'd say that like I have more confidence. Like I kind of liked McCullough. He was kind of slippery.
Yep.
He's kind of lean. He's athletic. I don't know how much he can get to the quarterback, but he's just like a good player out there. But like as you move to the interior is where I'm going. I don't know what we are there yet.
I don't either. And we do have to keep in mind, like for instance, Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois, I think in week 2 last year, played for a national title. Oregon didn't lose, but they got pushed to the brink by Idaho.
Yeah.
It was and wins the Big Ten. So like who you are in the first or second week is not who you're always going to be. But I think we all can call it for what it is in the moment. And the front seven was concerning. Now, I mean, what's challenging is like if Matt Rule walked in, was like, hey, we podcasted today. What are we doing today? We put it up there. I'm like, yeah, we are, Coach Rule. We're podcasting here. They only gave up 17 points. They were 3 for 10 on third down. They only had 271 total yards. Like,
yeah.
I mean, so if you're sitting there going like, I mean, if at the end of the day, if it's about
the biggest complaint, you're like, we're doing pretty good, right? We're doing pretty good if our defense gives up 17 and we win the game. That's not a bad thing. I'm just,
No, I'm with you.
We're looking at like, and mine's a little bit more the eye test than the number test even, right? Like the numbers weren't terrible. We won. It's great. But like we couldn't stop that quarterback if our life depended on it at that moment, right? With a 4-man rush, we couldn't just say, we're going to keep this guy from, like they couldn't do it. Even with the spy, it felt like we couldn't do it. That's what concerns me is that the simple act of like, okay, well, everybody in the stadium knows you can't do is let that guy scramble, and we let him scramble.
Yes.
That to me is where, between Butler and the front seven, like they've got to get more dialed in to be able to say, hey, if there's something we've got to take away, we at least got to be able to say, we're going to be able to do that one thing. And now it's putting pressure everywhere else. That's fine. But like, we got to be able to execute something. Like if we want to do something, we got to be able to do that.
Totally agree.
And they couldn't do that, which they weren't set up for it well. And then they started shifting things where they put spies on them and they still really couldn't do it. And so that's where I'm like, I want to see people that like kind of, it's like, if this is the one thing we can't let happen, they can at least do that. And I was like, I was concerned about that.
Yes. And so, and then you also kind of like think about what it's going to look like when you play Minnesota and Michigan and, some of these teams that are going to be better in the interior than Cincinnati is. Now, not everybody, the one thing we do have to be fair on, not everybody has Sorsby. That dude,
I think he's 230 something.
Yes, and like
fast.
and fast and strong. I mean, his touchdown run, both his touchdown runs were good ass runs.
Yeah,
and so not too many teams have a guy like that, but nevertheless, so that was a little concerning. It was like, hey, that was my number one thing I wanted to see on defense. What does that front seven look like, in particular that D line? Didn't look great in game number 1.
And I would just say the overall, like, I mean, like, think about us pass rushing against in our first handful of games last year versus Colorado. Like, we were getting to the quarterback. And if you look at last night, like, we could not get to the quarterback.
I was just going to say, it's one thing if you're like, you know what, we're not very big. We can kind of get susceptible to getting blown off the ball, but you know what we are? We are some pass rushing fools. Like, we get there. They had 0 sacks last night.
But I feel like they weren't even like closing.
No.
That's what I'm like in those 2-minute drills. Like we had 4-man rushes. We weren't getting close, and then they were still scrambling on us. So it was kind of like I was like, what are we there?
I agree with you. I thought McCullough was the one guy that kind of, in terms of the newcomers, that kind of popped to me. It's good to see Winery out there just because he's a former 5-star guy. I mean, he recovers the fumble. I mean, he's one of those dudes that kind of looks the part. What did you think of the linebackers? Like, Watson Trent looked kind of small out there to me.
I think he is small. I didn't see a whole lot of flash. I mean, other than Shavers' big hit, right?
Or Javin Wright sniffed out a screen and blew it up, which was a good play.
Those were like the two good plays, and then everything else was just like
it was like
nothing was really flashing. So it, like I say, it's unfair the first game to judge the whole like this is who you are.
No, and that's
this is not who they are. This is sort of like just the first impression, right? So they have a bunch of growth that's coming, and we're going to find out kind of who's actually going to play and who's maybe not going to play as much, because that sometimes happens too. Those first couple games, like you realize, like that guy's the player. You know,
because you need the games to kind of see who's going to rise up and rise to the occasion. And I agree. Like, I think they played a lot of different dudes, and they'll settle in on who's really producing.
Yeah.
You're right though, in that it does feel like, and we thought this probably going in. I shouldn't say probably. We did think it going in. The strength of that defense is Singleton, Hartzog, Sierra Wright, Andrew Marshall, Buford, like all
Buford's
like those
tough.
guys are experienced, mature. You know, they're not going to make every play in the world, but like that's clearly the strength of the defense.
Yeah, and I saw some of they were getting some of the young guys out there playing a little bit, but
Donovan Jones was out there.
Donovan Jones had a nice game. I'll say that he was a guy that like he was flying around at least, and he made a couple nice tackles. Like I thought he did a good job coming in, so that was good to see. Like I think, first impressions are the secondary is the strength. A lot of work to do.
Totally agree. You want to go to offense or any? Yeah.
Let's go to the offense.
Okay. Before we do that, got to tell you about my good friends at Pella Windows and Doors. Nothing makes me happier, and this has gotten to where it happens frequently. It's like I'll be out socially, see people all the time, and they'll be like, "Hey, Pella Windows," and they, I mean, it happens all the time.
You're
now.
The Pella Windows guy.
I know. I was playing Pella gave me some golf balls with the Pella logo on it, and I was playing in a scramble, and like the group I was playing, like, oh my god, really? I was like, oh yeah. I love being synonymous with them. It's a great company. They're great people. They did an amazing job on my home. If you need new windows, new door, whatever, the Omaha showroom, the Lincoln showroom, great places to start. Or you can check them out online, PellaOmaha.com. They gave us koozies here for the YouTube folks, of course, or Yetis, I should say, whatever the heck these things are called. But they're good people. Love everybody at Pella. Love being synonymous with them. Check them out online, PellaOmaha.com, PellaOmaha.com. Okay. Offense. So, stats: 20 points scored, 10 of 18 on third down, 23 first downs, 356 total yards, 113 rushing yards, 243 passing yards. Do you want to start talking Dylan? Or where do you? Sometimes I like to. Or do you have a prevailing thing you want to?
33 for 42. So just very efficient. Like just, it just looked like it was all just easy. It was all taking the easy choice I think he did a good job of, it was mostly check downs. It was mostly like just
or just a zone and
he didn't push the ball down the field much. I think they were giving us mostly what was underneath. Like you kept seeing like they were just pretty soft, even on like 3rd and 5,
like 3rd and 4.
We'd run a slant and they would like give it to it. And so like Dylan was taking it and we were playing pretty, I wouldn't call it conservative, but we weren't attacking down the field, right? We weren't attacking big plays. We really were. I think it was a more conservative game plan. I think Dylan did a nice job of just taking what they were giving, and it was enough. It was enough.
Yes, I do think, and it's probably I don't know. I'm curious what things look like as you progress. Because one of the things about last year was like it got to where as the season progressed, Nebraska didn't throw the ball Dylan kind of has this big arm that he never really uncorks anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can count on one hand all of last season, like the real, like, all right, here comes a deep shot.
Yeah.
And there were basically none last night.
I don't know that we threw it down the field once.
And so what I don't know is, was it just kind of like, was Cincinnati playing, 3 safeties, shell, keep everything in front of you, rally to the ball kind of stuff? And when that's the case, you can't take deep shots when it's not really there? Or is this, I'm just curious what that looks like moving forward. Because at some point, they're going to stretch the field vertically a little bit.
They will. I think, like I said, to me, the conservative aspect of it was, I think they were trying to get the ball out quicker. I think they were just trying to find a rhythm. That was almost like the goal more than let's go make a big play. I think they're trying to just build.
I agree. Yeah.
Build it up
rhythm,
slowly.
Yep.
Because it's like the joke would be like, is anybody scared of our offense? No. Like, we're not scary right now.
No.
But we were good enough to win a game, which is it's sort of a weird place for us to be in, but I'll take it right now. We were efficient. I think we did a good job just taking what they gave to us and doing enough to win, but we're not scary to anybody right now.
Yeah, I thought he had Dylan, I think, had 2 great plays. The play fake on the little RPO. I mean, he really sold that. He held it, and then great throw to Dane Key at the goal line there. And then, man, the RPO play where he really pressed the line like he was going to run and then flipped it out to Lindenmeyer. Like, those were 2 excellent plays.
Yep. And his scramble was a
big play too. He is very lucky he didn't get a pick six. The little all 22 cam replay of that was bad.
Yep.
Like, that was bad. Key was open. He might have had Harburg, and he turns and
he had Lindenmeyer too. Like, he had. Oh no, it was Harburg.
I think it was Harburg.
Yeah,
I think, but whatever. Yeah, he had 2 guys open, and he comes late to the out.
He almost threw it without looking.
Yes, and I mean, the guy is still on I-29 at this point right now. But the thing about Dylan that I was reminded last night is he just, and you said this all the time last year, he makes things look pretty easy.
Yeah.
Like, there's something that, say it all the time, the good players make simple things just look super easy.
It looks like he's just like relaxed and just like, it's just, he just looks like he's almost not trying. And I like that about him.
Yes. And where for years, like, just playing catch, like, go run a 5-yard hitch and throw it to the guy. Like, there were times Nebraska struggled to just do that.
Yeah, it always looked hard. And
he just, and I think some of it is like, a part of Emmett's strength is catching passes out of the backfield. So you're playing to Emmett's strengths too. I'm talking in terms of, like, quick checkdowns, ball out of your hands, those kinds of things. But overall, I thought Dylan played pretty well. I
think he did a good job. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot else there. It was just like it was an interesting first game. Like, seeing what kind of jump we can make from game 1 to game 2 on both sides of the ball, how much more aggressive we're going to be on both sides of the ball. What are these receivers? Who are these backup? Like, I think we know what we got in Emmett Johnson. I think we got a good back in Emmett Johnson who he plays hard. He hits the holes hard. I'm fine at this point with our offense. Him getting 20 to 25 touches a game is probably the right thing at this point, because I don't know that anybody else is there yet.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that, because Emmett Johnson, 25 carries, 108 yards. How many he had?
7 catches too, so 32 touches.
I mean, but at this point, like, one of the concerns, and it's a pretty in the weeds concern to a certain extent, is like the backup running back spot. Like, what was? Tell you what. The only thing I wrote down backup running backs, they just have zero juice. Like, Mosey is a true freshman, converted wide receiver, or wide receiver converted to a running back, and they tried to get him kind of like horizontally around the edge, and it just looks like a strong gust of wind would that's blow him over.
You remember that's like whenever you play those young guys, it's like just the strength aspect of it. It's not there, right? So like it is a lot to be a running back as a true freshman. Those guys will get better and they'll develop too. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a big
because Mekhi Nelson's one carry didn't look great. I just think both those guys, I think between them 3 carries, and it just was very like.
Well, and
like you ever light a firework and you're like, and it just like doesn't go out. It just felt like that. Like every time they ran the ball, it just felt like one of those like.
But do you ever feel like though sometimes where like these young guys come in, it's like these young guys in there, and they have to run some special play to get him the ball, and those plays never work.
Never.
It's like I want to see what those guys are. Just like put him in the regular offense and let him run the ball. And from a regular point, like what are they from there? If they're always going sideways or some BS play for them, you don't really get to see what are they for real.
Because it was clear, and to me it was clear Holgorsen was like, Mosey has one play pretty much.
Yeah, Mosey had a play or two that's like his trickery to get him the ball.
Just like get him going off the tackle around the edge.
But they don't want to put these guys in the regular off. Basically, like Emmett played most of the game.
Yes, it felt like anytime Emmett wasn't on the field, it was like get him on the field.
Yes,
but I'm with you. I thought Emmett played well. I was very. Yeah. I mean, the dude runs hard. Like, if you got a problem with Emmett Johnson, like, come on. I don't.
He's got some talent, but he's more of a lunch pail guy than he is a talent guy.
That's my thing.
Hard.
He does, and that's where I still don't know if he's supremely gifted, but. Man, that guy, you gotta bring him down. You know what I mean? Like
he was pushing piles. You know what he did too? He had like 5 plays where he'd like catch a pass, or where he would break that tackle, that first tackle, and at least fall forward for like 3, 4, 5 more yards.
Agreed.
Like, or he just had a great way of like balancing and falling forward. Like he was always going forward. And it kept us on schedule.
Totally agree. He had a couple of nice, good vision cuts, feeling things inside. Like, I thought he played well.
Yeah, he did well. I thought the line did pretty good. The line played a pretty good game.
Let's talk about the wide receivers, because Dane Key and Isaiah Hunter look like pretty good players, man. Like Key and Hunter, like those guys won one-on-ones and they got open.
They catch the ball. I don't know that they're elite, but they're good.
Yes. And Barney, Raiden had the one. Raiden got tackled because someone Charlie horsed him, and he was going so fast that the ground caused a fumble.
I mean, Raiden's confidence is almost too confident. I like
Shakori Barney. If people don't know, he's electric. Raiden, Mortal Kombat reference.
But I mean, he just is like
Barney rolls out of bed and just is like, let me at him.
I mean he's pretty fun.
I mean, but I don't know. I feel like I was maybe a little more. Now we did this last year. We saw Nair and Banks, and I was like, holy smokes! Look at the hands and catch radius on that. We were chugging the Banks and Nair Kool-Aid after the first couple of games, and as the season progressed, it turned out those guys were fine, but not like special.
Yeah.
Will Key and Hunter be different?
I didn't see like special out of either of them. I thought they were good. They're good players, right? But like, I'm just seeing the way people move. Like nobody's a freakazoid.
Trey
right?
Palmer,
so like nobody's. I haven't seen that yet out of them. So like, I'll be pretty slow to put them.
I like it.
High
You've
up
been You're gonna I like it. You're not going home on the first date. Look at you.
You know who I kind of liked? I liked Tight End U. Tight End U was kind of good. Okay, Tight End U was
Tight End U.
I think he's our best tight end.
You know what Tight End U? He went to Yak camp.
I mean,
that guy. You know what's amazing is his runs after catch were. He had 5 catches. 4 of his runs after catch were great, and the one that he needed to get in.
I know. You know how I think too. Did you know?
Yes,
I was thinking.
I go, Bo. In my head, I'm like, if Bo is sitting here, he goes, that's the kind of play like you have to get in.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Because for people that don't remember, that was the Dylan great press the line, flips it out. Lindenmeyer gets gets tackled at the 1-inch line, and then Pritchett false starts, and it's a drive killer. But that's
because as soon as he didn't get in, I went, you got to get, those are the plays. I have a belief. There are just a handful of plays in a game and in a season where you got a chance to score.
Right.
And some times they just they don't sell out to score almost. They're just it's almost like too routine. And you've got to find, when you get a chance to get that ball in the end zone, you've got to sell out to score.
Yes.
And I know it's it's on the one, just punch it in. Well, guess what happens?
Yeah. False start, and it's a field goal.
You can never leave it to chance. You always got to get in when you get that. You got to have the instinct to get in. And I see it all the time. And I
literally thought the first thing I thought when Lindenmeyer didn't get in, I was like, Bo is freaking out.
Because it was a scoreable play.
Yes.
And he just need to pick up his knees and drag that guy in. And it's a touchdown. Now, he had a nice play, though. It was a good play.
Yeah.
But he needed to get in.
But what's weird is when you contrast it with his sideline kind of tight roping it and breaking a tackle. He ran the ball pretty well after he caught it. And then the one time he needed to have a little bit of power, he got drugged down at the 1-inch line, and then Pritchett got a little overstimulated.
Lindenmeyer is he's a walk-on, and I tell you what, he looks really good. I think he is a guy that kind of out of nowhere, he looks big. They list him at 6'3". He looks bigger than that. He looks
moves
stronger
pretty
than
well.
that. He looks fat. It's interesting to see his rise. I'm really impressed with him. And sort of how he's contributing. Because, I'd argue his 5 catches for 47 yards were as important as anybody's in the whole game. So, it's good to see Lindenmeyer kind of finding a place. How hurt is Carter Nelson still?
He's supposedly fine. He's healthy and practiced, I think. Now, he's coming off of an injury, obviously, but
it felt like he wasn't even in the game.
No, that surprised me a little. Just because you're talking about a guy that is just his billing is a freakazoid athlete, elite player, and for him to not get on the field really at all, or get targeted at all, was a little surprising.
Lindenmeyer, for whatever reason, Holgorsen and Lindenmeyer see eye to eye. Since Holgorsen walked in the door, he's like, Luke, come over here. And it's just
It's so true. What is it about the moment Holger? We've all been in those situations where you show up at an event or something like that, and there's one guy you instantly click with. I think Holgo's first day, he walked in, Luke was waiting for him.
Yeah, it was Holgorsen and him are both sitting there eating donuts, the same donut, both drinking a cup of coffee, same time. They're what's your name? I'm Luke, what's your name? I'm Dana, I'm your new coordinator. It's and they just are he's been good since Holgorsen got here.
You're so right.
Holgorsen walks in, it's you're our guy.
The moment Holgo showed up, tight end U showed up.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happened here.
I'm liking tight end U. So.
I thought he was good. I thought the O-line, I thought they were just, maybe I started to kind of I don't know why, but I fell victim to as the camp progressed.
8 deep.
I fell victim to someone when when a waitress or someone's you sure we can't get you another round, guys? Oh, come on, you want to, and you turn it down once, and then before you know it, you're all right, I'll have one more.
You want the 16 or the 24? You're well, 24 is a better deal, huh? Whoops. Whoopsie.
What was it at Twin Peaks? It would always you had a man. The way they labeled the sizes made you look at a female and be I will take the little boy drink.
Yeah, it's a little boy or the grown man, and you're
I'll take the little boy drink.
Take the little weenie boy.
We have a never been to first base size and a stud size.
Which would you like, right? Every guy pauses for 5 seconds.
Never been to first base size.
Oh God!
Oh boy! What were we even talking about? I don't even know what we're.
Oh, Oh, the O-line. You're talking about the O-line.
I tried. No, I got offered.
You got offered the
Finally, the
stunt size.
Someone. I was at Twin Peaks apparently, and someone came around and offered me a stud-sized offensive line Kool-Aid, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it.
I guess I'll take that. I don't want the little weenie boy size.
I don't want a little never been to first base size. Yeah. And so, and I got it, and I chugged it. And I all of a sudden was like, Rocco Spindler, Henry Lutovsky, Justin Evans, Gatula. I mean, Pritchett's not even the start. Like this, I all of a sudden thought, like, man, I think this O-line might be like pretty dang good. And it was okay last night.
We weren't. I don't think we were bad. Like I didn't say,
we were bad.
I would call it a. It's one of those things. I almost didn't notice them. In a good, I would say it's almost good.
Other than the false start, but that's an isolated,
And dealing with the Godfather, Corleone was kind of a. Lutovsky was like, he got driven back a handful, but that was a big dude. So I don't know. We weren't terrible. Dylan had time for the most part.
He protected him pretty well. He got sacked a couple of times. One he had too late. Instead of throwing it away, you got to kind of eat it.
Yeah. But we weren't terrible. We just weren't like, we couldn't really run it as well as
that was my whole thing. It was like 3.2 yards per carry. Couldn't really, still got to 100 yards rushing, but didn't necessarily just like.
Emmett had to work for it.
Emmett worked his ass
hard for that 100.
That was
a hard 100.
That was a hard 108 yards.
I mean, he's going to be sore. He's going to be a sore kid.
He took some shots.
Yeah.
Side note, did Barney get split in half on like the first or second offense? Remember the first or second play, Barney got cracked in half and then
he doesn't have any muscles, so he's one of those guys. He's like, they have the popped up. He's like, I'm okay.
He's like Gumby, just like but you're right. Emmett's 100 yards were tough, but overall I only ran for 3.2 yards per carry. They didn't play bad. I don't want to make it sound, but I got offered a stud-sized Kool-Aid of offensive line Kool-Aid, and I drank it. So because of that, I was a little disappointed in maybe what I was hoping.
Yeah. So I think that's fair.
Holgorsen, impressions? Any?
I think it was all good in the sense of like he just didn't want to lose that game for us. We weren't trying to win the game. We were more trying not to lose it, and I think that's kind of how we played. And it was good.
Won
enough.
The game. Yeah. I thought, I love the tight end delay. They ran it again to tight end U. That's kind of been tight end U's play. He has the great call on fourth down inside the 5.
That to me is
in some ways like, why are you hired? That
he set it up and then did like that. To me is the difference between a good coordinator and a bad one. Is like, I was like, it was so refreshing to be like, God, that was a great play call. Like he out schemed them, which doesn't seem, we don't get that often, but he mostly was just like, it was very conservative. He had that one play call that was like, changed the game really by being able to execute it. So I'm going to give Holgorsen the benefit of the doubt of like, good job. You got us the win.
But you're right. It wasn't the most extravagant looking set of plays I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, we were taking our time. Like, like the whole game, we weren't trying to do too much tempo. So I feel like
held the ball for 39 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. I think it doubled them up, time of possession.
We did. We had a ton of
39 minutes, 30 seconds. They had it 20 minutes and 30 seconds. So I mean,
which I think our defense needed it, right? Yeah. So like this is the part of it where it's a strategy to me. Like, we weren't that explosive. We weren't that scary, but we held the ball.
Right.
We ran out the clock. We kept our defense, they're a growing, developing defense. Like we need to keep that front seven off the field a lot. And
Agreed.
They did. So like Nick, if they're on the field a lot, we probably get beat.
Agree. So and I think so sometimes you play the hand you're dealt, and I think Holgorsen kind of did that last night to a certain degree.
Yeah, we won the game.
Won the game.
Yeah.
Special teams. I was a little worried about Archie Wilson, just the whole thing of he's 18. He comes never played in a football game. Like, I thought there was a chance they were going to, you get to your locker, you have your gear, and there's going to be like a diaper. And they were like, put it on, Archie. Like, I thought there was a chance, which he's at Arrowhead Stadium. It's that we got to get to the crowd in a second. Like, I thought there was a chance he was going to be like, whoa. And dude was money.
He looked pretty calm, and he was, like his pooch kick. So like he was taking his time, and he was really, you could tell, like, I almost liked how gentle he was with it. Like sometimes in those, like, don't overthink it. Just be soft with it. Like,
yes. And you
got the coverage. They're not going to return it.
Right.
Just get it inside the 20. Get it to the 10.
Two huge punts down inside the 10. The first one at the end of the first half sets up the Shavers fumble so they can punch it in. If that ball's at the 25 and a touchback, they probably aren't going to score when they get the turnover.
Yeah.
And then obviously the last one at the end of the game, you pen them inside the 10 at the 9. They got to go 91 yards. Those things are huge.
Yeah.
Huge plays. Cunanan, 2 for 2. We talked about that. 52-yard field goal. I don't know what happened on the kickoff out of bounds.
Yeah, the guy.
I mean, I don't know what was.
Guy made a decent play by stepping out.
Yeah, that seems like a Bo Ruud like it a lot. Barney is so fearless as a punt returner. Him and DeJuan Gross. I mean, there could be like wolves around him, and they're catching it. I still don't know if Barney's got like
that kind of movement.
That kind of it's what he is. He's a fly sweep. Put a get it just like top speed go.
Are you
and
jitterbug? Like, can you go side to side? Like, that's where punt returners usually have that.
Yes,
he hasn't really shown me that he's that yet.
He's fast. I don't know if I've seen punt returner ability to run the ball.
Yeah,
those are separate things. But overall, special teams didn't lose the game, and they made plays that helped win the game, which was fantastic to see. Fantastic to see. Okay, we have a new kind of segment here, and it's going to be the I think we're going to call it the Peerless Energy Systems either MVP of the game, top performer of the game, because peerless means unequaled or unrivaled. Yeah. So that's a perfect name for this. And Peerless Energy System has been on the pod a handful of times. Josh, the owner, is a great guy. I actually talked to him 10 days ago. He's a really, really, really good dude. And if you are in the need of any compressed air at all, this is the place to go. They go to market via local distributors to make some of the best air compressors and ancillary compressed air equipment in the industry. They have 3 core values: reliable, dedicated, and responsive, and that is exactly what you get. They are also locally owned and operated. They have certified compressed air auditors on staff, 24-hour emergency response for service parts, rental equipment, all that good stuff. So, transportation, refineries, utilities, food processing, manufacturing. I might even think, I thought Peerless does some of the compressed air for Dingman's. I thought Josh was telling me that. So we're all in the family. So check them out, peerlessenergy.com, peerlessenergy.com. Okay. What do you think? Who do you want to go with here? Who is the kind of the without equal, unrivaled, unparalleled player from this game?
All right. So I don't think it's obvious, right?
I don't either.
It's not obvious. As much as I think Emmett played a really tough game, he earned it. It was a lunch pail game for him. All the touches, all the yards. He didn't get in the end zone. I think Dylan's efficiency, throwing 2 touchdowns, sort of like, let's be real, without Dylan, we ain't winning that game. Without his efficiency. So to me, my vote would go for Dylan. How did you see it?
I wrote down 3 names. I'm always prone to give these awards to punters.
Oh, but
I'm not. It's not Archie, but shouts out to Archie. I wrote down 2 names. I wrote down Dylan, and then I wrote down Hartzog. Just because, and maybe this isn't it's all how you want to frame it. Like when I did this morning over a cup of coffee on my deck, like I was thinking to myself, at the end of the season, when we think back to this game, I think we're going to think of Hartzog's pick.
Okay.
So in some ways, I'm like, that's if like when I think Colorado last year, who you think of Tommy Hill's pick 6. Yeah, like there are certain plays that just stand out, certain individual moments that are just like, that's going to be a play that if say they go on to go 8, 9 wins or whatever, like he doesn't make that play, And this season, that could have been like a serious sliding doors moment there.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think I want to give it to Hartzog.
I think you could argue it was such a big play, even though he had a fine game.
Yeah, he wasn't
right?
great,
but it was such a big play. I think in this moment, because nobody else was like Emmett and Dylan were good, but not like they didn't do anything outrageous. That play was outrageously good. So I would be fine. Actually,
are we good with that? I think I want to give him the Peerless Energy Systems top performer MVP of the game.
He won the game.
He won the game. Yeah. And so not only, it just was a play that hasn't been made for Nebraska in a decade, damn near. Where just like clutch, step up, go in the game.
And you're right. We're going to look back in the season. You're going to think of this game, and you're going to think of one play.
You're going to think of, okay, the game Hartzog saved it with that pick. Yeah. That's kind of how I'm framing it. That's not always how it's going to be framed, but that's what I'm going to go with.
Week 1, I think that's a good choice.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I've already got people like Hartzog in the club. Like
club? Oh my God, I forgot about the club.
I don't know what we're going to do here with do we need to do like one game?
Hartzog is in the club.
At this point, Hartzog, Emmett Johnson, Dylan in the club.
They're in the club. That's for sure.
Those two for sure. Those three for sure to me. To kind of wrap things up, I think we've talked, you can nitpick, which we've done, and that's what you do. But Nebraska survived and won.
Yeah. And
if Nebraska loses that game, let's say Hartzog doesn't make the play, that guy catches it in the end zone, and Nebraska loses 24-20. Bo, it's moderately catastrophic.
Especially with the way that game played out, where it's like you felt like we were controlling the game, you know?
Yes. Whew. So they won the game. That's fantastic. I would say at first blush of just like you just get a first glimpse of a team. I wasn't blown away by them. Like this doesn't look like a 10. Some people talking about like a 10 wins and going to the playoff. Like my first look at them, they didn't look quite like that.
Yeah,
but you'd imagine they also feel like a team that's got they're going to get better and better and better.
They're going to get better, and I think that they look a little bit more composed than last year. So the credit I'll give them is we look a little bit more like a composed team. We look a little bit more savvy, where things aren't looking as difficult as they did last year. Where we look, or where the struggle comes is that front seven. That front seven on defense
worries me. That's the biggest
the worry. Yeah. We won't go far if they don't make the improvements. We won't go as far as we need to go. And everything else, I feel like is just, I see more composure, maybe a better version of last year on offense, a better version of last year in
special
the secondary,
teams,
better versions. Like I'm seeing better versions, better
certain
coaching,
areas.
Better, like I'm seeing lots of better versions of last year. But just like nothing groundbreaking. We're not scary right now. We're not like nobody's superstar. It's all pretty much like we're solid, I would say.
That D-line's concerning.
Yes.
And obviously anybody's starting quarterback going down is a concern. So that's like that's a concern for literally every team in college football. So I don't even want to, but like if Emmett gets banged up, I'm very concerned.
Yes.
So like Emmett becomes Dylan's the most indispensable.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure Emmett isn't right there, right behind him.
He would be.
Based on what I saw last night. So running back depth still a concern.
Yeah, and then the emergence of these skill players.
Yeah, we'll see
receivers, tight ends. Like we got to see what we got. I don't know that we learned a ton about all those guys yet. Those guys, that's where I don't know a ton. Nothing really jumped off the page to me, but got
Key
a lot
and Hunter
more.
They look good. Tight end U had a good game.
And then these ancillary guys, these backups.
You got Raiden. You got
who's going to emerge from?
Because you're going to need somebody else.
Yeah, there's like 5 to 7 guys that are like, who are those guys? Yeah, there are a lot of maybes out there.
Three things to get out of here. Number one, the Nebraska crowd. Amazing. It's just incredible. I know it's just
such good fans.
Such good fans.
Those ESPN announcers, it doesn't matter how many times they still can't really believe it. Like, they can't believe how good fans we are. They're like, wait, your program has a 1 and you're better than Alabama. You're like, they don't understand. It almost doesn't make sense to them.
Right.
Because not every school and not every state is as good as we are as fans. We are really good fans. We should be proud of it.
No doubt. And they made an impact. Like, they made big false starts in big moments because of the crowd. I thought, like, and it makes sense to a certain degree, but, like, the whole broadcast was about Nebraska.
It is.
Like, if I was a Cincinnati fan, I'm like, can we get, like, any?
You don't,
but you're sitting there.
You don't
like,
travel.
You don't travel.
It's all us.
Guess what? When 99% of the people here in Arrowhead are Nebraska fans, we're just going to talk solely about Nebraska.
They almost were like, this is a Nebraska.
It was a Nebraska home game, and it just, you've played in Arrowhead. It is. They say it's crazy loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, our buddy Willie was at the game. He was texting us and said it was nuts last night.
Yeah.
So I was hearing little things on social media yesterday of, like, I-29 during the day was just like, I mean, it was
it was like bumper to bumper.
It was like the row of cars, like a small town high school going to the, I mean, it's just incredible. So I want to start with that. It is pretty amazing to say out loud, Taylor Swift was at a Nebraska football game.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty amazing. I know people get annoyed with it, but I mean, whatever. I think it's great. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then how about Mr. Slim, Matt Rule?
Yeah.
Dude's lost a lot of weight.
He wore that tight T-shirt, too.
He did. He
was
like,
kind of...
Like, and what size were you at?
Extra small.
Extra small, please, for me. Thank you very much. I mean, dude is, I mean...
He's been working.
Yeah. He looked good out there.
He's showing it off.
He's, you know what? You work your ass off, you can get the extra schmedium.
Yeah, that's the
Husker Polo.
That was the schmedium.
Okay, well, that'll do it. What are my size options? I can have there's a never been to first base.
I'll take the never been to first base.
I'll take a stud size, please.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.